What was your most horrifying moment in school? Mine happened on the first day of the 6th grade. Oh boy. Kindergarten, probably the first week or so. I asked to use the bathroom. The girls' room has someone in it. So my teacher says to use the boys' room. It was single occupancy. So I walk in and I see this new contraption there. I think to myself, well, that's a different kind of toilet. But it looks like fun. I drop my pants and hop up onto this bad boy and commence taking a dump. I forgot to lock the door. Hey, it was the boys' room. I was too distracted by being allowed into the boys' bathroom. And one of the other boys walks in and starts shouting to the class about how I pooped in the urinal. Cause one of you thought it would be a good idea to pull down your pants. Okay. And hover your butt cheeks over the urinal. And squeeze out a chocolate hot dog. Okay. In 6th grade I went to the Bahamas with my parents for a winter vacation. On the beaches down there, women walk around and try to sell things. Particularly hair braiding. I decided that getting my hair braided would be kind of cool, so I did. When we got back to the States, I decided to keep my braided hair, complete with green and white beads, for my first day back at school. I am a white male. It was one of the worst decisions of my adolescent life. May have wrote this before. I forget. Was in the 2nd grade. Maybe 3rd. It's all kind of vague. I'm from the middle of nowhere, Texas, and we had barely enough kids for 2 classes of 14ish kids. So the 2nd grade teachers' rooms are connected by bathrooms between them. Teacher A equals bathroom equals teacher B. The bathrooms consists of 2 toilets. No urinals. There are 2 connections between the room. 1 boy and 1 girls. I don't know if this was common for small TTY schoolhouses back in the day, but it's how our podunk school was built. So I went to drop a deuce. These didn't have locks. I guess because we were little kids. I don't know. Anyway, unbeknownst to me, we are about to watch a movie, Teacher B's room. That's awesome. Except she forgot I was in there. And had the kids line up single file to walk to the other classroom. So pretty much what happened was, I'm pooping and all the kids are walking through single file pointing at me and laughing. Saying HAAHAAA he's pooping. Equals. She was traumatic. Chewing on red pen. It exploded. Desperate to get rid of disgusting taste, I ran up to teacher. She thought it was blood. Started freaking the FCK out. Called nurse up. Ignoring my attempts to explain it was just ink. Couldn't talk coherently because my mouth was filled with bitter red liquid. Red ink saliva dribbling out my mouth. Desperate not to swallow it. Tried to run out of classroom to water fountain. Teacher practically tackled me to stop me. Thought I'd gone batshit crazy. Bit my tongue off and was a danger to self others. No one seemed to understand that it was just F-king ink. Eventually had mental evaluation. Even after it was clear that there were no injuries and I could explain. No. Really? My pen exploded. Mental evaluation. What the? How did that go? What did they even think they were doing? So. High fructose corn syrup. Are things okay at home? Yeah? We both know that isn't true. After all, you bit your own tongue off. My pen exploded while I was chewing on it. Now. That won't work here. We all know what happened. You just have to admit it. Till a lot of people pee their pants in 6th grade. I did it at a field day. I was wearing gym shorts and been drinking water all day. I went to the bathroom and a friend comes storming in. I had a knee-jerk reaction to pull my shorts up midstream and keep pissing all over my shorts. In 3rd grade, I was about 9 years old. I peed my pants during recess. Luckily, no one immediately noticed. But there was no way I could hide my wet clothes for the rest of the school day. When recess ended, several kids, including myself, went to use the restroom before heading back to class. Obviously, I didn't need to pee anymore. But I pretended I did. While washing my hands. I decided the best way to hide my pee-soaked shorts was to drench myself with water from the faucet. And to make myself look less ridiculous, I splashed everyone else in the bathroom as well. I'm pretty sure I saved what little reputation I had that day. Fully pantsed in front of about 70 people freshman year in gym. Sucked. TL. Dr. Pants Dak people. It's really hard to live down in meanish tea. Was pantsed during a fire drill in 7th grade. Had period. Was wearing a nice thick pad. With wings to secure it to my underwear. This story actually takes place the day after a dance. But at a 6th grade dance I ended up dancing with the hottest girl in school. She wanted to dance close. But being a shy kid, I decided I would keep my distance. The next day on Instant Messenger she asked me why I wouldn't dance closer to her. To this day I do not know why I said this. But my response was, because I had a really big boner. I never talked to her again. 3rd grade at Pay we were doing new exercises and it came time for the sit-ups. Coach Smith paired me up with this Latino girl I had a mad crush on and we were to show the class how to do a sit-up. She was to hold my legs while I did the sit-ups and count. Afterward I was to hold her legs down while she did the sit-ups. It was going to be awesome. My time came to do the sit-ups. The 5th sit-up. I cut the hugest tootiest fart I had ever done. The whole class laughed at me. And then tried to imitate what I had done. She jumped back and ran away screaming. I cried. Coach ended Pay class early that day. Lesson learned: never fart in public. Did anyone else think that was going to be an embarrassing bonus story? Hugest tootiest. Wow, that's fun to say. In 9th grade, our high school track coach told us to practice sprints on the school's driveway. We would start near the road and sprint its 200 meters length. While we are congregated near the road, and I am waiting for my turn to go, a senior deepens me, underwear and all, in front of the team. All nearby traffic. And the girls' cross-country team, who, unfortunately for me, was running by. That's when you put your hands on your hips, a smile on your face, and in the classiest tone say, "Hello, ladies." I wasn't feeling too well in math class during my freshman year of high school. I asked the teacher if I could go to the restroom because it felt like I was going to hurl. I get halfway to the restroom and I end up throwing up all over the hallway floor. In front of a class full of students. The next year in sophomore English we had to write about a memorable experience and one of the kids in my class wrote about seeing it happen from the classroom I threw up in front of. It's nice to know you touched a life. I was a bit of a late bloomer and had my first period on the 2nd day of high school. I should also mention that it started halfway through the day and I didn't notice until I got home and had to throw away my jeans and underwear. It was that bad. I remember standing up in my last class to grab a paper from the kid in front of me too. Everyone behind me burst out laughing and I had no idea why until I got home. I pretty much wanted to die. One day when I was in high school, the guy who you got sent to if you did something wrong, it wasn't the principal there, but I forget his title, stuck his head into the classroom and asked for me. All the other students went to as I walked to the hallway because obviously I was in a lot of trouble. Except I wasn't in trouble. Somebody just wanted to tell me that my dad had died about an hour earlier. When I was 8 years old, I wrote the girl I liked a letter telling her that I liked her because I was shy. Turns out she wasn't. Then she shouted out to everyone that I liked her, laughed at me and tore up the letter. FCKU Joanne. Edit. It's either that or the time I accidentally upset a wasp's nest. I hate wasps. Haha. That reminds me of a time when I wore boxers to swimming class when I was like 6 or 7. The instructor asked me if I was wearing underpants or shorts. And I was so serious in defending my boxers and told her no. These are shorts with crickets on them in a straight face. And didn't get why she didn't understand that. Years later I found them and they were totally red boxers with crickets all over them. In elementary school we were all assigned a country to do a little speech about. I was assigned Thailand. One of the most beautiful places in the country of course is Phuket Island. And with a handful of pictures from the island I cut out from a book, I spent at least 90% of this presentation talking about Phuket. Yet, I was traumatized when a minute into my speech my classmates started laughing. And they laughed. And they laughed. And my teacher was red in the face with embarrassment. And so I just kept trucking through. It wasn't until just about the end that I realized that I had been pronouncing Phuket as FCK the entire time as I was reading my cards. This is the island of FCK. FCK has many beautiful beaches. I would love to go to FCK. I booked it from that room in Trauma. TL. DRFCK. Phuket Isle. Why is that horrifying? That is actually kind of awesome. I went to a private religious middle school, which meant that we had mandatory prayers twice a day. Most of my classmates and I spaced out during that time, but we had to attend and play along. One day in 8th grade during a 10-minute stretch of silent prayer, I noticed my friend eyeing an empty light socket on some wall-mounted strip lighting with a metal bobby pin in his hand. He looked at me as if to say, "Should I do it?" To which I nodded vigorously. My nod was all the permission he needed, because he stuck that bobby pin right in the light socket. The light socket literally exploded. A jet of sparks shot out of the socket accompanied by a huge boom, which echoed around the room of silent students and teachers. And my friend's shirt sleeve caught fire. The entire room was staring at my now crying friend with burning shirt sleeves in the black smoking light socket. Luckily he wasn't hurt. But the image of the silent room of 100 plus kids staring at my idiot friend who had just accidentally blown up a light socket still makes me giggle. First day of 6th grade. New town. New school. They had all of the students in the middle school gather in the gym. Then each homeroom teacher would walk in front of them and call out their students' names. They called my name. Or almost my name. Stephanie Fork and Bill. Then again louder, Stephanie Fork and Bill. My name is Steven. Middle school sucked. I feel you. Name is Heath and I got that at least once a year for Heather. Not my most horrifying moment. When I was aged about 10 in primary school, a new kid started in the middle of the year. Every morning we had assemblies. I'm not sure if they have them elsewhere in the world. I live in the UK. But basically they take everyone in the school and put them in a big hall for half an hour. Which means we're all standing packed pretty close together. The new kid must have been nervous, because about 15 minutes into the assembly, he started to projectile vomit over everyone around him. He vomited over the people in front of him. Then tried to run out and vomited over a bunch of people on his way out. He must have hit about 15 or 20 people. The school descended into chaos. Everyone was trampling each other trying to get out of the room. People were running around screaming. Covered in vomit. TL. DR Columbine of vomit. Best TL. DR ever imo. As senior class president, I had to get up and give a welcome speech to the new freshman class on the first day of school. Unfortunately, I was also sick and losing my voice at the time. I get as far as hello. My name is Vic Val, when my voice loudly cracks in the most pubescent sounding way. The freshmen all looked shocked and were too scared to laugh. I died inside, regrouped, and said, "Vic Valiant." And high school is full of moments like those. Get used to it. Then I continued with the speech. Decent save. But I still hear about it from friends. When I was in middle school, I think maybe the 7th or 6th grade, I was in orchestra class. I played the violin but wasn't feeling that great that day. Eventually in class I realized that it was time to go to the bathroom and eject my stomach into the toilet. I hurriedly told my teacher I didn't feel good and ran to the bathroom to vomit. I get to the bathroom, and as soon as I vomit, the force on my stomach made me shit myself. I must have repressed what happened next because I don't remember anything after that. No one made fun of me for it. But having shat yourself in middle school with all your books in your classroom still. No easy way out. I must have Gohan blacked out. We had to do locker checks in 7th grade because one student had rotten lunches in their locker and there were fruit flies all over the place. I was that student. My entire class watched in horror as I pulled out each one of these bagged lunches that contained rotten sandwiches, apples, bananas, etc. Single most disgusting smell I have ever witnessed. Finally, I pulled out the last bag and the bottom ripped. The substance inside was not recognizable as food. Or as anything really. The slime poured out and hit the ground and the smell followed quickly. I looked behind me and I see this cute girl from my class run to the nearest garbage can and throw up. For some reason I found that to be hilarious and I started laughing. She looked pissed and said I was disgusting. I was red-faced for the rest of the day. It was quickly forgotten, I think. It was the first day of 5th grade. I was the new guy. I was trying to learn the kids' names but they were all being mean, laughing and pointing at me because I was wearing a bow tie that my mom bought me. I thought it was going to establish me as cool, but it just got me picked on. That was bad enough. But getting a drink from the water fountain splashed some water on my pants and some kids started pointing at me, chanting pee pants. Pee pants. Full stop. I had the last laugh though. When recess time came I kept all those little bastards in the classroom and made them sit quietly while I read the newspaper and drank my coffee. Senior year in high school. One of my classes was AP Calc. It was the week before the AP test. My teacher was saying how in the last so many years every single kid had gotten a 5/5 on the test. She then came up to me and said, "Quiet but loud enough for everyone to hear. Are you going to pass this test? Because honestly I'm not so sure." That didn't exactly inspire a lot of confidence in me as a student. To hear your teacher say after 8 months of straight studying for one test to get college credit. I ended up with a 5 and found the test really easy. But still. It wasn't that she was mad at me. She was more disappointed. And that was worse. Humiliating for all of my friends' classmates to hear that. In 9th grade I was taking a poop in the school bathroom. I personally didn't think it was a big deal. Yet, some ghetto kid found this extremely hilarious and stuck his iPod over the door and took a quick video of me sitting there pooping. He decided to go around showing all of his friends and I got a lot of crap for it. No pun intended on the crap. Edit. To everyone wondering. It was when the iPod Nano first came out with the video camera. It wasn't that long ago. Seeing that I am a senior in high school now, I would think they were being weird for watching a video of you pooping. Hey everyone. This guy poops. Ha 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 ha. My story involves shorts in 6th grade as well. One day I got up, put on my clothes for the day and went to school. I slept on the bus on the way to school because I was perpetually tired as a child. Anyway, I'm going about my day and I notice people looking at me funny. It was only a matter of time but some kid yelled out Daisy Dukes. I looked down and I was wearing a short pair of my sister's shorts. I was horrified. I tried to sag them a little lower so they didn't look as bad but everyone already knew. They called me Daisy from that day forward. Even worse. That day was picture day and even worse than that. It was a full body picture with one leg up. Kinda like a Capt Morgan pose. Worst day of my life. 8th grade. I liked a boy named Bobby. Pretty sure he liked me back due to all the flirting he was doing. I was standing with my friends after school and I admitted to one of them that I liked him. I said it was a huge secret and please don't tell. My friend looks right at me and then over to him who was standing maybe 50 feet away and yells, "Hey Bobby. Oaktree 3 likes you." What CNTS teenage girls are. He never spoke to me again. My mom made the most amazing split pea soup once a year from our leftover Christmas ham dinner. She would spend all day making it. And it was our family's absolute favorite. One horrific day in 6th grade she made me a thermos of it to take to school for lunch. I was so excited for that damn soup that early in the morning. At my desk, I sneakily opened the top to get a whiff of that hammy goodness and boom. I dropped the whole thermos all over myself. My desk. And like 4 other kids' desks, we were in desk clumps. Guess what split pea soup looks like to 11-year-olds? Yep. Vomit. Kids started screaming. Jbev 25 puked. While running out of the classroom. This moment is literally the most horrific moment of my childhood. FWP. I know. I switched schools going into 3rd grade because I got into the GATE program. I wasn't aware that the school had uniforms and ended up going to the first day in a baggy SpongeBob shirt and baggy pants while everyone else was wearing a white polo and blue Dockers. The shirt didn't even fit me properly until the 6th grade. Really? This is your parents' fault. How was a 3rd grader supposed to know about a dress code?